Hey guys, Redrix here, bringing you another Destiny 2 video. I hope all of you are having a great day. I know the last time I made a leak video, there has been a lot of changes that I pointed out. There's been a lot of community sentiment and community feedback that I've received, so hopefully some of these changes to this leak video will help me prepare better for, of course, the standards of when it comes to leaks. I know it's a very touchy subject, but I hopefully you enjoy and it pleases you on that. As well, I will be having like a little update on how Destiny 2 is going as a whole, because I think there's some big news that has been just maybe disregarded on a whole that I really wanted to point out here, because when it comes to right now, guys, we are 3 months away from the Light and Dark saga concluding, and once that it comes, and with the unknown future that us players are in this unknown, really tragic, scary situation, we're just in a position where we are just have to wait until everything pans out and until Bungie tells us what comes next. So I feel like with this situation right now, I think it's best to just look at what we may get in the future and what might come out of the bloom, and as well as like what we can speculate on, because again, I wanted to also emphasize the likeliness and probability of a leak, as I don't want to be giving you crappy fake info, and I don't want the community to believe it's true if that is the case. So I will be taking accountability when it comes to that. Hopefully many of us will understand that. But I wanted to talk about Into the Light in particular, and then some little things when it comes to the final shape. But one quick thing I wanted to just look at real quick is that I found out from a recent annual expansion projection on the pre-order emblems. As you guys know, when people pre-order expansions and prior to its expansion reveal, rather if it's either when it's being revealed on the stream or when someone buys it from the months up ahead until the launch of an expansion, we are in a very uneasy position right now, as it's being told that less than 25% of the pre-orders Lightfall received is what we're at right now when it comes to the Final Shape pre-orders. Again, I know Xbox had some little changes right now. When they delayed the expansion, they had to cancel like all the pre-orders or something like that. But other than that, when you look at the PlayStation and PC amounts of the annual expansion projections, we are below average with apparently 407,000 pre-orders, while Lightfall and Witch Queen had about 2,250,000 and Beyond Light had 3 million, and I am always curious why. But as you look at that, I just wanted to put in an idea that this is a very interesting time for all of us, and it really comes down to Bungie to give us one of the best products that I think we need to receive since probably around time of Forsaken, because that's when when Curse of Osiris, when Warmind was coming out, when they were in this desperate time, they had to go out with a amazing expansion, they had to go out with a banger, and I'm hoping that Final Shape can be that. And looking at the projections and the statistics, it doesn't look so good right now, so hopefully they can pull through. But let's go into I guess you could say, let's go furthermore into the Light, which is going to be the next free update, which will really prepare Guardians for the Final Shape. And I think this is an excellent time to give an update on it, because it recently came out to Bungie leaks, and it's been as credited as a unconfirmed leak, just pointed out to you guys, as it hasn't have any, again, real confirmation as of yet, but it did have a leak that we actually covered prior to a couple months ago or weeks ago, I don't know, time's crazy these days, that told us a lot about the Final Shape story, the content, and the future that has been getting some attention. So the same source that made that leak also made this Into the Light updated information, and there is actually some stuff we need to go over, because Into the Light looks to be releasing on April. I believe April 9th. Yeah, that is the date that it's being set to drop, as there has been a lot of things, rather on PlayStation has been saying as like the next major update release, and that would be, again, Into the Light, as it is going to be a free DLC. Or free update. If I say DLC or update, I'm just going to, again, you guys know, it's going to be a free sort of anniversary pack in some sense. So Destiny 2 Into the Light is set to drop on April 9th, 2024. Here's what we got. In the first week, there will not be no raid refresh. We will be revisiting previous DLC locations, focusing on 1 and 2 weeks each. Now, Shadowkeep is being skipped for some reason, but it seems to us that we're going to go to some old places like the Throne World, like Neomuna, and like Europa. The storyline will be similar to the evacuation quest that we got back in Season of Rivals, where we would visit old planets before the quote-unquote pyramid ships, DCV, would take them out, and we would receive sort of some of the strike-specific loot or some of the loot that might have been, really hard to get, and they would, give it to us before the, content was going to be removed forever. So again, maybe we'll have some stuff like that if they're going to do anything like that, but again, they won't, because they already said that expansion vaulting will not happen, so I don't know really what the situation is going to look like for this. It'll be very quote-unquote Riven wishes in terms of how the quests are used for each of the destinations. So for the Riven wishes that you have done in the last couple of weeks, I haven't done them, but if you guys have been, paying attention into what they look like in terms of getting, I think, keys and putting them in for some loot and doing some really monotonous Dreaming City stuff, you can maybe expect something similar to that with the old destinations, doing some of their according respective activities. In the first 2 weeks, they will be Beyond Light and Europa. Europa weapons will be reissues. There will be stasis meditations, which will redone the stasis progression system to make it more streamlined and like Strand in some sense. The Eclipse zones will provide increased meditations. As always, you guys know, with Europa, they have the 3-week rotation of which area will be eclipsed, and then you can expect a lot of activities to appear there for the seal and other stuff, so expect more meditations in terms of that. The next 2 weeks, the Witch Queen, Throne World. Throne World weapons will be refreshed, the perks. Few new deep sight puzzles, which is being talked about. Nothing super big, but it's going to be aimed to do that. And I believe they are also going to reissue some stuff as well when it comes to the Witch Queen expansion gear. The last 2 weeks, we'll have Lightfall and Neomuna. No info on what happens here, but with the last two, examples with Europa and with the Witch Queen, you can really expect a lot of it to be similar to what we've gotten already and what we've seen. Maybe stuff to do with the Neomuna activities, the public events, those zones. I don't know what it's called, but again, having that one zone be a bit unique with some puzzles and doing that, and then doing that again over and over. It will also have episode story beats in them. Apparently Clovis will get mentioned on Europa, and Vickrell gets mentioned in the Throne World. So maybe this could be sort of a startup for the episode structure and the story. As you guys know, with Final Shape concluding the Light and Dark Saga, the next 3 episodes, Heresy, Echoes, and Revenant, not in that order, will give more story beats on the events and consequences of the Final Shape. And Into the Light is sort of the perfect pack to start introducing what's going to happen, because as you guys know, Vickrell seems to be coming back into the forefront. It looks like Zethu and Savathun as well, and then it looks maybe like the Vex will also get some mention, maybe Clovis in that episode story. So this could be a great way to start the story up for those little beats. But looking at that as a whole, that's really all we got for Into the Light that has been actually really new that I haven't covered here on the channel. But it's being really shown out to be, if these are pretty true, then the leak that I've made a while ago, the leak video on the Destiny and Beyond video that I will link up above that I've already covered, seems to be getting more attention, and it will be more likely to come true. Of course, this leak would mention a lot of stuff with variant supers, a lot of stuff with new strikes, a lot of stuff with no new dungeon, but a lot of stuff on the new other supers that we will be getting, and story-based stuff, as well as the future after the Final Shape. Some little takeaways that I just wanted to cover is that there will be apparently no DLC in 2025. Instead, they will have small content during 2025 during the launch of Marathon. Apparently now Heresy will be taking the 2025 early spot, as Revenant and Echoes will be taking the, summer, fall sort of area. And these episodes are going to focus on a lot of things that we've already talked about. Again, having a Vex-themed episode, new dungeon. Apparently, Wrath and Machine is supposed to return with the Scorn and Revenant. But as you guys know, it looks to be that they might do something entirely different when it comes to that. They could just make a new entire raid for that. They don't need to do the returning, old raid anymore, because I don't think it's been told by anything over the marketing or advertisement that they're going to do so right now. So Wrath and Machine might not be on the horizon, but it looks to be that they might make a Scorn raid or a Fallen raid, which would be cool. Again, time will tell. But looking at forward, they are going to try to prep something in the future, and it looks to be that if this is leaked to be true, is that they will have a DLC in 2026, and the next saga to start that, the code name for it is called Survival. So overall, we are seeing itself go through this massive change, and we'll find out more as time goes on, but it's just stuff that we need to look out for, as there has been a lot of changes that has happened over the course of the last 3 years when it came to the brief story that we were supposed to get, which was just to have Beyond Light, Witch Queen, and Lightfall conclude the Light and Dark saga, and then apparently maybe a new huge fresh start, maybe with a Destiny 3. I don't really know what the plan was back then. I know a while ago, Luke Smith and Noseworthy was thinking of making a Destiny 3. I don't know if that changed. I know the veil was supposed to be actually a race. A lot of changes has happened over the course of these years, and it's really hard to pinpoint now with leaks as they are going through drastic changes, both on who's making them, where their sources are coming from, and what Bungie's actually doing. So again, I want you all to take these with a grain of salt and really see these as basically unconfirmed and fake leaks, unless it's being really quoted out to be true. So I wanted to point that out there again. But that really finishes off the video. I hope you all enjoyed, and if there's anything I can do to really make my experience here on YouTube with the videos on leaks or anything like that, great. And let me know also your thoughts on any other games if you want me to spread out. I've been trying to spread out the Helldivers. I want to know your thoughts on that so far, but let me know what else I can do here for you guys. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. See you next one.